Once upon a recent morn, under the grey, brooding skies of England, I found myself ensnared in a tale of woe at the place they dare to call Southampton Airport. Oh, how I wish the heavens had whispered a warning into my trusting ears. But alas, with a heart full of dreams and a soul craving the caress of distant lands, I ventured forth, innocently unaware of the tribulations that awaited. As my carriage approached, I was greeted not with open arms, but with the treacherous embrace of a charging fees, a veritable toll for the audacity to draw near. Imagine my dismay, dear listeners, as I was ensnared in a car park labyrinth, only to be extorted for the princely sum of £7, a ransom for merely brushing the wings of this so-called establishment. The sign, a siren's song of deceit, lured the unwary with promises of a complimentary quarter hour, yet in the fine print a cruel jest, for blue badge holders only. Oh, the injustice! The sheer audacity to masquerade as a welcoming haven while pickpocketing the unsuspecting. As I traversed the hollow halls of Southampton Airport, a profound melancholy settled upon my shoulders, as heavy and suffocating as the fog that rolls in from the sea. The establishments, once bustling with life and the promise of culinary delight, lay as barren as a winter landscape, their shutters drawn against the evening's descent. Costa, W.H.S. Smith, the olive tree all had abandoned their posts, leaving naught but the echo of my own footfalls to keep me company. How cruel the fate that even as the spectre of COVID retreats into the annals of history, the spectre of neglect and indifference continues to haunt these forsaken corridors. In this self-proclaimed bastion of modern travel, I was to discover that the concept of punctuality had been cast aside like a forgotten relic of a bygone era. Flight after flight, a symphony of delays resonated through the air, each note a dagger to the heart of those who dared to hope for the timely embrace of their journey's end. I too was ensnared in this web of tardiness, my spirit withering as the minutes stretched into hours, the promise of reunion with loved ones fading like the last light of dusk. The ground staff, those who should embody the warmth of welcome and the efficiency of well-oiled machinery, instead donned the mantle of indifference, their words laced with the venom of disdain. How it pains me to recount the lack of empathy, the cold dismissal of our collective plight. To be treated as mere cargo, devoid of feeling and significance, is a cruelty no traveller should endure. And oh, the cacophony that awoke me from my fitful slumber, the ungodly hour of 6:30. The roar of an easyjet leviathan rent the veil of dawn, a stark reminder that even slumber is a luxury not afforded to those within the shadow of Southampton Airport. The tranquility of the night, the sanctity of our repose, all shattered by the thunderous applause of engines that seemed to mock our yearning for peace. In the midst of this chaos, I sought solace in the simple pleasure of a meal, a humble request that was met with the comedic tragedy of inefficiency. An hour I waited, an hour of hunger pangs and fading hope, only to be presented with my repast mere moments before the call to embarkation. A swift, unsatisfying dance with my fork, and I was torn from the table, my stomach as empty as the promises of this forsaken place. But the coup de grace, dear friends, was the humiliation I suffered at the hands of security, where my personal effects were scrutinized with the suspicion befitting a ne'er-do-well. To have one's belongings manhandled, to be accused of fraudulence when truth and innocence are one's only companion such, is the ignominy that awaits the...
I was looking into crimes near Southampton Airport, just trying to understand what happens there. The area around Southampton Airport, it's like. Businesses there, they see tourists coming for 2 weeks and they think easy money. There's this taxi company that operates right outside Southampton Airport. They have a proper storefront and everything. What they do is, when tourists arrive, they tell them the meter is broken and quote some crazy price like £80 to go to the city center. The tourist, they retired from the flight. They just want to get to their hotel, so they pay. But the actual fare should be like £15 maximum. I predict those tourists probably felt so stupid afterward, checking their wallets and realizing they just lost £65 on their first day. The taxi driver probably laughed about it with his friends, like another one fooled. They probably do this to 5 people a day. Then there's these currency exchange places near Southampton Airport. They ray the worst. They advertise no commission, but what they do is give you a terrible exchange rate. Like, if the real rate is 120, they give you 1.5 and keep the difference. A family came to exchange $2,000 for their 2-week holiday. They should be gotten £2,400, but only got £2,100. That s £300 stolen, just like that. I bet they didn't even realize until days later when they checked online. The exchange place probably counted that money as profit, like they earned it honestly or something. The souvenir shops near Southampton Airport, they all like this too. They sell you these authentic British items that are made in China, but they don't tell you that. They charge £25 for a tiny teacup that costs them £2 to buy. When tourists discover the Made in China sticker hidden under the price tag, they probably already back home. The shop owners probably think it's clever, like they never come back anyway, so who cares?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our comprehensive analysis of the businesses nestled around the bustling Southampton Airport. As we embark on this journey through the reviews and experiences of those who have wandered these streets, we find a tapestry of customer satisfaction that ranges from the sublime to the, well, let's just say, less than ideal. Imagine, if you will, a day out in the vibrant area surrounding the airport. You've just landed, or perhaps you're a local looking for a spot of leisure. You're greeted by the promise of a delightful experience, but as we peel back the layers, we uncover a story that's as mixed as a cocktail shaken, not stirred, by an amateur bartender. First, let's stroll over to Westquay, a hub that promises a delightful blend of shopping and dining. However, the reality that unfolds is akin to a shopping spree in a maze designed by Picasso. Patrons have found themselves ensnared in a labyrinth of parking woes, where the quest for a parking spot turns into a quest for the Holy Grail. And once you've navigated the parking puzzle, you're met with service that's as cold as the overpriced coffee you're sipping on. It's a place where the staff's indifference could make a statue look animated. As we saunter over to Lime Wood Hotel, we anticipated a retreat into luxury. Instead, we stumble upon a scene reminiscent of a Fawlty Towers episode, but without the laughter. The culinary delights are as hit-and-miss as a blindfolded darts player, and the service, well, let's just say it's a masterclass in how not to run a five-star establishment. The promise of a gastronomic symphony is often met with a cacophony of overcooked disasters and a side of nonchalance. Now, let's take a seat at the Olive Tree, Oxford Street, where the view of the harbor is as enticing as the food is disappointing. Here, the chefs seem to have a peculiar talent for turning fresh ingredients into dishes that whisper meh to your taste buds. The service, much like the food, leaves you yearning for something, anything that would warrant the term exquisite. As the day wanes, we find ourselves at Bill's Southampton restaurant, hoping for a meal that would redeem the day's culinary letdowns. Alas, we're met with a service that's slower than a snail riding a tortoise. The food, when it finally graces your table, is as underwhelming as finding an empty wallet after a night at the casino. For those seeking evening entertainment, the brook awaits. But be warned, the acoustics might have you questioning whether you're at a concert or a heavy metal jam session in a tin can. The ambience is often marred by the antics of a few unruly patrons, making you wish you had stayed in with a good book. And when the day is done, and you're ready to retire to room 2 Southampton Hotel, you might find yourself in a room that's had more guests than a politician's promise. The cleanliness, or lack thereof, might just inspire you to don a hazmat suit before you dare to touch the doorknob. But fear not, dear travelers, for amidst these tales of woe, there are hidden gems. Bring Mick Southampton offers a cozy nook for those seeking a well-crafted cocktail, though you might find the menu lacking the variety it promises. In conclusion, the businesses around Southampton Airport are a mixed bag of expectations and realities. As an idealist with a heart that aches for perfection, I must confess that the imperfections here have left me with a yearning for better days. But let's not end on a somber note. Instead, let us approach these establishments with a sense of humor, a sprinkle of patience, and the hope that they will rise to meet the high standards we all deserve. Remember, travelers, to tread carefully, to expect the unexpected.